I can't make that my name.
Episode 32, Suplex Biddies, brought to you by Couch Guys Sports. Nothing better than Andrew Hunterman starting to record. Oh, I can't make that my name. Hot start to the week, boys. We are brought to you by none other than Couch Guys Sports. With me, as always, Diego Galvez, Andrew Hunterman. Boys, what is up?
Yep. What is up? What is up? What is up?
So we're brought to you by, obviously, the Couch Guys Sports Network. I'm a little tired today, boys. Need a little bit of energy.
Yes.
I think we got the sponsor to do it. What do you think?
What's the name?
Oh, well, hold on a second. So not only is Suplex Biddy brought to you by the Couch Guy Sports Network, but
wait. Is it just Suplex Biddy? I thought it was Biddies.
Biddies. That's what I said. Suplex Biddies.
I heard Biddy, but
with an S, a Z, however you want to call it. But we're also brought to you and sponsored by our good friends over at Shocked Energy. Do yourselves a favor if you haven't already. You best, and I mean you best, be checking them out.
Yes.
Excuse me, as I'm slowly dying a painful death today. So let me give you a little bit of background about Shocked Energy. It's a drink that's made by gamers for gamers, and all their flavors come packed with 180 milligrams of caffeine to ensure that no matter what you're doing, your focus will always be razor sharp to keep you at the top of your game. Their formulas are designed to specifically give you a high energy boost when you need it the most, while ensuring to avoid the jitters after too much caffeine consumption. Do yourself a favor, www.shockedenergy.com, and use the promo code CGSN today for 10% off your order. Check out their green apple flavored box or even their watermelon flavored box. Oh, and don't worry, to all of our Suplex Biddies listeners worldwide, they ship worldwide. But baby, get your Shocked Energy today and let us help you gain your focus and energy back. So, fellas, let's jam-packed show today.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, on Thursday, November 5th, we had some, or November 4th, 5th.
It was Friday. It was Friday, November 5th. Friday, November 5th.
So Friday, November 5th, we found out about some more cuts for WWE's roster due to budget cuts. But then we'll have roster cut McGee. we'll have Hunterman go over their quarterly budget after as well. But some names before we get into the big ones. We have Zach Raymer, Trey Baxter, Katrina Cortez, Lince Dorado, Graham Metalik, Harry Smith, Eva Marie, and then we go into the bigger names of Frankie Monet, Ember Moon, Oni Larkin, B-Fab from Hit Row, Nia Jax, Graham Metalik and Lince Dorado, Scarlett Bordeaux and Karrion Kross, Mia Yim, and Keith fucking Lee.
As well as Jeet Rama and a couple others were released.
All right. So who wants to talk about how stupid WWE is for cutting at least 4 of these members on the roster?
You guys can start. I've been mad for a weekend, so.
I mean, first and foremost, just a quick shout out to us for self-promotion, being on top of these releases. It was rumored throughout the week. It was rumored earlier on Tuesday morning. However, nothing had come to fruition. There was a board meeting that kind of escalated into things as they reviewed financials and prospects onto 2022-2023 budget financial committee with all these people in there. But finally, as of about mid-show of SmackDown Live, we started getting the reports and started getting the rumors of who was going to get cut and whatnot. One of the major rumors was throughout the night was Oni Larkin and Ember Moon. Ember Moon being the very first one to be released. It's no surprise at this point whatsoever. Seeing what happened with the pandemic, and even before pandemic at this point, there was some troubling waters, being brewed across WWE, and seeing this as the third, almost fourth round of releases happened so far in just 1 year. It just tells you that whatever management they're on, whatever promoting they're trying to do, or whatever audience they're trying to target, they're just failing at getting it. It's clear as well that whatever AEW is trying to do, whether it's competition or not, it's getting into their territory, and therefore financial cuts need to come to fruition and be part of the unfortunate. Seeing some of the names here, there's about 10 names that stand out for me that could easily bounce almost immediately, whether it's to Impact Wrestling, whether it's to AEW, whether it's whatever they go, really, at this point. New Japan, easily anybody could really pick up these 10 names that I'm thinking of. That's people like Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Lindsay Dorado, Nia Jax, which I'm not sure if Chris mentioned her or not.
I did.
Amber Moon could easily pick up anywhere. I mean, she's heavily sought after by AEW to begin with, so that's an easy transition there for her. Mia Yim, BFAB. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about talent that could easily be picked up at this moment by any of those aforementioned. I think at this point it just comes to two things. Either there's another round of WWE releases, which at this point we could easily expect. And in fact, there's rumors already brewing around those speculations. One of the bigger names that's coming into fruition so far right now that could easily be released is Pete Dunne. Again, we don't have any confirmed sources at this time. It is more than just a rumor at this point. So until that is confirmed, please don't think that he is getting released immediately. However, I think at this point, the bigger announcement just needs to come as to who WWE is selling to, because it's clear that right now they're in big selling mode. They have released over 50 stars at this point and counting. And if it's not selling, then it's a transitional in management. And I'm wondering who is going to take over for the new management of this company, because it's clearly that Triple H will probably not keep going as manager of WWE. It's more than likely that Stephanie and Shane no longer want to do this anymore. So who is up next? That's the two things that I think of and that I was thinking of heavily as the weekend came by. Again, it's unfortunate that at 9 p.m. Eastern time, you're looking at Twitter, and the very first thing you see is releases trending. That's the most unfortunate thing that I've ever seen happening in 2021. But that's from me. I don't know, roster cut McGee or Keith Lee Stan. I don't know which one of you two wants to go next.
I mean, I can elaborate a bit more. I mean, you're covering pretty much all of it. You wonder what the heck they're doing. It's in the 70s now for wrestlers they've released just this year. So they're at it was like 74 or 73, something like that. And it just seems like they had NXT was their idea of like an indie promotion. That was their alternative to their WWE stuff. And ever since they lost that, Wednesday War, which everyone said wasn't a freaking war, they decided the rebranding was going to lead to a bunch of people getting axed. And they just don't want to keep paying all these indie darlings and such as guys like Keith Lee or Karrion Kross, Braun Strowman. Even just thinking back, he wasn't much of an indie guy, but again, the Wyatt family started in NXT. Whatever. It's sad. A lot of these people are going to be 100% okay wherever they end up. It's exciting to see people like Keith Lee finally can just go somewhere and just be himself instead of trying to get everything adjusted and changed. For whatever reason, this dude that's just this uber athletic 300+ pound dude, charisma out of his ass. No, it's not enough. It's not enough. So let's just repackage him and keep taking him off TV and doing all this dumb shit. He'll be fine. It's shout out to him. Happy birthday to him today. Not the greatest of birthdays after getting canned from allegedly what people always still consider their dream job. But it's it seems like they're doing all these other rumors that came with the releases is that anyone that's over like 35, if they don't 100% see money in like a Damien Priest, then they're gone. So then a bunch of those people got canned and have been getting canned. And they're also just focusing on NXT is going to be like where they build all their new stars to then go up to Raw and SmackDown. So, and they even have another rule where it's like if you're not improving in like 6 months after you're signed, they're going to fire you. So in the end, they're saving money. They're going to try to start from the ground up and save in the developmental aspect of it. Who knows how long that TV deal will last, depending on how they do. But yeah, no, it's just good luck to all of them, and it sucks to see. You never like seeing, oh, there's another string of releases coming. And you're like, oh fuck, who the hell's gonna lose all their money now? And they still got their 30, 90 day no competes, and they get their money for a little bit longer so they can figure out everything, get their affairs in order. But yeah, it's just I can't imagine how anyone can look at WWE and be like, this is where I want to be. This is my goal, or someone that's starting out in the industry. Like our friend Jones here has a guy he grew up with that's either trying out for AEW or has had a couple matches on AEW potential tapings. If he's starting out, everyone used to say, the be all end all was let's get to WWE. That's the goal. Let's get there. I want to be the world champion of WWE. Now it's just there's so much out there. You can go do that. You can wrestle anywhere. So all these people are going to be fine. It sucks to see again. Obviously, some surprises. Some that you could, for me, I could give two shits about Nia or Karrion Kross and them. They're still people. I want them to have a livelihood. But for performance wise, that they did. So we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, what do you think, Jones?
I mean, I just think our big takeaway that we have to think about this is two things. One, clearly, like Diego said earlier, they're selling the company. There's no way, if, ands, or buts about it. You can't tell me otherwise. I will not be convinced otherwise. And the second thing is, they're trying to save money, which they're doing, but what their quarterly earnings were doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
$million.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I know, listen, you're getting money from Saudi, you're getting big money from NBC and Peacock. You're getting big money from Fox. So you have 3 big deals right off the bat right there that you're making money. So unfortunately, if you can't keep the roster happy or keep using as many guys on TV as you can, things like this will happen. So I think more so for me, I'm looking at it and just like looking ahead, the Royal Rumble. Can you name me 30 superstars that can be in for either the men or the women right now?
The women's one, absolutely not.
With the way these roster cuts are going right now, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me. I just think they're focusing on their big guys. So right now, they're big guys that they can build around and that they have a future with, and are their big money guys right now. It's Roman, Steph, Drew, Brock, who's not around often, and hopefully Big E. They're going to run with those guys, and they're going to run them into the ground and see what they can go with moving forward. That's just the world we live in. But will there be more roster cuts? Who knows? But other wrestling companies around the world are going to get better as a result of what happened this past week on these roster cuts, especially for whatever show gets Keith Lee. If Karrion Kross goes back to Impact, we know what they can do with him and Scarlett Bordeaux. We've already seen it. Nia Jax, there's still Bray Wyatt's still out there. Braun Strowman's still out there. There's still other names from WWE that are getting off, that are finally coming off their 90-day non-compete or whatever their release clause has. So don't be surprised if we see some names popping up on multiple shows in the next, I'd say, month or so before the beginning of the new year. Speaking of, really quick, now I brought up the Royal Rumble and I wanted to do this really quick. So Hunman and I have been advocating for Keith Lee to win the Rumble since the Rumble of last year for this year. So with that moving forward, for men's, what are you thinking?
I'd say maybe Brock Lesnar, in my opinion.
Just why?
Because who else are they going to have win?
I mean, based off of
he's suspended indefinitely. What's another surprise return? The Royal Rumble. So
So
if you see betting favorites, I think he's in there. Whenever they release it, but carry on. Who do you think?
I have two potential ones. One would be to ride his current momentum that he has going for him. That would be none other than King Woods, which would be a good one. It would be a good feat for him to win the Royal Rumble, and then having him go on to main event WrestleMania would be a fun little thing, just because of how over he is, and it could be a star in the making that they could be building. Another one, they've been building him quite a lot recently, and you mentioned his name earlier, man. I think if Keith, the second they fired Keith Lee, the first name I thought about to win the Royal Rumble this year is Damien Priest.
Yeah,
he's
a good name.
He's a name that, yeah, he's been solid since he's come up on the main roster for him. He's United States champion. They need someone to be able to compete with Big E on Monday nights, and Big E versus Damien Priest doesn't sound like a bad little match for WrestleMania.
Yeah. No, definitely does not.
So those are, for the men's side, I think it could be either Woods or Damien Priest. For the women's side, I think we're going to see the rise of one effective as of Survivor Series, which will take us over to our next topic after that, which is the teams that got announced for Survivor Series. But the one woman that I think right now is going to win the Royal Rumble for this upcoming year is none other than Shotzi Blackheart. I'm putting it out there now. I think when she came out and challenged Charlotte, I think that was them setting the stage for her. The way that she did and the way that she performed and the way the ovation she got, I think she is in the driver's seat to win the women's Royal Rumble at this very moment.
Fair. I would love that.
Diego, thoughts?
Right now, I'm thinking for the Royal Rumble for the men's side, obviously names like Brock Lesnar, Big E, and all those guys come up to fruition. I'm thinking that right now the way WWE is kind of promoting what used to be the New Day. So Big E now as the whatever title he's holding now, because
Universal. Because there's too many titles.
Because there's plenty of titles, but not plenty of talent available at WWE. Go figure. You got King Woods now. So I'm thinking potentially that the potential winner there could be Kofi Kingston, just to kind of give the whole New Day a new kind of face going forward. And because they're such entertainers, it kind of puts them at front and center of doing so. But I also wouldn't be surprised either if we finally see Cesaro get a larger push here. I would love for Cesaro to get it. Mm-hmm. I think he rightfully deserves it. But there's also the potential of somebody like Finn Balor or AJ Styles getting it as well. So either of those four names for me, I would be completely happy with. It would be no question to me, like I said, if we see Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, any of these guys win it. But I would like those four names I aforementioned. For the women's side, I agree with Jones what he said about Shotzi. I also think that somebody like Tegan Knox could also get it. Her versatility.
If she's still in the company, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if she's still within the company. But I also think that the way how things are turning out in the women's division for Liv Morgan, this is a perfect opportunity for her to get it. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking Liv Morgan could be the winner here, and that's who I'm riding with.
Cool. You know, it would be an absolute dog shit one, but it's WWE, so it could happen.
Paige?
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler.
When she should have won it a few years ago instead of Charlotte. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Fucking get me going.
All right.
So might as well just have AJ Lee win.
Well, the other thing too, like that'd be cool. The other thing too is that, with all these people that they keep cutting and all these alleged people that are supposed to have their contracts expire, there's other guys like Owens and Zayn and Gargano that are all supposed to potentially be leaving in the next month. Now even Kyle O'Reilly, as of last week, they're saying his contract's up before the end of the year. So it's like, this is just another mass exodus of talent. That's just like, all right, we're all set.
There's absolute rumors swirling with AEW if O'Reilly were to go there, that they do basically the Undisputed Era versus the Elite, which would be Must
Oh my
watch
God.
TV every freaking week.
Dude, Team Budge versus the Elite. Let's go.
Yep, that would be it. But
Have you watched any of the BTE stuff with Silver and Reynolds calling Adam Cole Budge?
I haven't yet. I need to get back onto that
Pretty
trend.
good. And John Silver has been teasing him a bit with Adam Cole does the boom.
Mm-hmm.
John Silver starts going boobs because he thinks it's boobs instead of boom.
I love it. Dude, star in the
It's such little stuff, and it's just so freaking funny. But
It is.
so early Rumble prediction. I'm gonna stick Brock Lesnar because I hate that, but I would like to see a guy like AJ win it if he's actually a singles competitor again. That'd be awesome. And then the women's one, I like the Shotzi pick. I really just the only other one I would suggest is maybe Bailey, who comes back from her injury. Who knows when she's due? It's too early to tell. So we'll definitely have to see how Survivor Series shakes out. And they usually can tend to allude to if there's like a sole survivor or someone that has a big performance, then they'll have a big moment in their future. So when Jones goes dark.
Yeah. Just like how WWE's done on their talent for years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's do that. Let's talk about the Survivor Series. So let's talk about women's first or men's first.
I'm more excited about the women based off the team. So you can start with the men's.
Yeah.
All right. So for Team SmackDown, we have team leader Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, King Woods, Sami Zayn, and Happy Corbin. For the men's, we have team leader. It looks like it's going to be Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, can't wait for Dominic to fuck that one up.
Yep. Yeah,
I can't.
SmackDown has to win that one. The teams are just so outmatched. I think the Mysterios just seem out of place. I would have put like the Dirty Dogs there instead.
I would love nothing more. No, they're on Raw.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I would love nothing more than King Woods to be the sole survivor of this.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be a huge. But unless this team Team Raw teams up together, there's no one that's going to pin Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
I agree. I think SmackDown wins that one. Mr. iRub.
Who's the breakout star?
Oh, in this one? Oh, for sure, Xavier Woods.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure, Xavier Woods.
He'll get like a couple eliminations or like just go off and just do crazy stuff.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Finn's going to get 2 eliminations. He's going to eliminate Sammy and Corbin.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, his
Seth eliminates Jeff Hardy, and then McIntyre, Woods eliminate them. Diego?
Yeah, I think SmackDown wins it. I agree. Xavier could be the breakout starter of here, but it's WWE, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's some dog shit result like Jeff Hardy eliminating Dominic Mysterio. So
yeah, it comes down to them too. Great.
Yep.
I mean, this could also be another one of those things where they say, you know what, Jeff Hardy's not going to be here forever. People love him. Push him. Do that. Give him another title. It's not going to be Roman, though, in my opinion. It's just that's the other thing that I didn't talk about. So with the releases, to make your star, I really thought it was going to be Keith Lee to be the one to maybe beat Roman in the coming year. And without him here, I genuinely don't know who it makes sense to have beat him. Like he was the only one that I realistically thought would be a good choice.
Let me rattle my brain a little bit here.
And in the meantime, just to elaborate more, so it seems like they're going to stick with the Raw versus SmackDown theme at Survivor Series, as we knew. You're probably going to get, unless there's titles changed, you're going to get Shinsuke versus. Yeah, you're going to get Biggie Roman. You're going to get Shinsuke Priest. You're going to get Usos versus. Who's the Raw tag team shows? Holy shit, I'm blanking.
It's bro, baby.
Yes. Oh, that'd be a great match.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then
you obviously RKO and everybody.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And then also you have obviously you'll get Becky and Charlotte, which will probably main event. And I know it should be Roman, but unless they do a title change.
Keyword should be Roman, but we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of want to see him do a swerve where like Belair ends up taking the title and maybe Lynch gets back to the team for Raw, maybe, and then gets a win back and rebuilds some momentum. They always do 1 or 2 weird title changes leading up to it to change the matchup. So we'll see how it shapes up the next couple of weeks.
I can't wait till it's till it's Sami Zayn beating Shinsuke Nakamura, and instead of getting Shinsuke versus Priest, which would be fucking fantastic, get Sami Zayn versus Damien Priest.
Sami Zayn's not bad. He's all right. Him and Owens though, they're always there.
Let's talk what Women's Survivor Series team. Raw, Bianca, Ripley, Liv, Carmella, and Queen Zelina. For SmackDown, Diana, Shotzi, Natalya, and Aaliyah. What are we thinking here?
I'm excited for these teams a bit more because they seem a bit more even and well matched. And obviously, you get some new fresh blood in there. Like Liv Morgan's in a high spot, Aaliyah's in a high spot, Shotzi obviously with her recent push. It is weird that you don't have both tag team champions on the Raw side. So like wherever Nikki Cross is, I don't quite know what or Nikki Ash, I should say. So who knows what's going on with her? Maybe it's like a visa thing. Maybe it's a COVID thing. Maybe it's just a we don't think you're marketable enough thing. But who knows? So I'm gonna have to go with. I think SmackDown's gonna get a bunch of wins back this year because last year it was Raw pretty much sweeping everything, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Especially the men's team because that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say SmackDown because I think it just makes more sense to have someone like a Shotzi, pull off some craziness, and maybe it'll come down to her and like Liv.
Hey, maybe we get like the Dolph Ziggler role a couple years ago where she goes 1-on-3 and wins and then starts her push.
Well, she's a heel though. That's the other thing that bugs me. Unless you're talking about Liv.
Yeah.
You're more so talking about Liv?
Yeah, in a sense. That could be it.
Well, the other thing I liked is that, so obviously weird that Cesaro's not on Team SmackDown now that I'm thinking out loud. But also, a lot of people are starting to, like superstars, I shouldn't say, at least Woods, and there was another person saying, like, I like paying for, I like, competing for the winner's purse, but what else is the point of this? Like, give us something else that's going to be at stake. And so that's always been a gripe with, the internet community and other fans saying, like, Survivor Series is all well and good. It used to be one of their biggest pay-per-views, but it doesn't have the same, energy behind it as it used to. Yeah. So it's because there's no stakes and all these people just change shows. So it's like, why is there brand supremacy if you just switched? Like, get establishing your role and everything like that. I think I've said that recently in the past. Uh-huh. But if they add some type of stipulation, like even what they did in like 2004 with Orton's team versus Triple H, and they said, well, if you win, each member of your team gets to run the show for a week. Something cool like that. Mm-hmm. Things like that, or another match opportunity or a title opportunity, whatever it is. So it would be nice to see them just put something on there that makes it matter a little bit more. Because it's tough. Why do we care? Like, I like Survivor Series just because I love the 5-on-5 stuff. And I always think they deliver some of their best matches. But for the casual fans and a lot of the other fans, it's like, well, what the fuck? Why do I care about any of this? It doesn't matter. It's like the All-Star games in most professional sports, or like the Pro Bowl. Like, why do I care about this?
I agree. I love how Hunter brought up the Pro Bowl because football is not a sport. Diego, what are your thoughts on the women's Survivor Series teams?
I like how evenly matched these are. I think that there could be some surprises here. I think Natalya could be replaced at the last minute by somebody else there. She's very injury prone, and as we've seen, it just so happens that she happens to miss some big opportunities. This could be one of those opportunities this year where she's missing. I think Carmella could put some chicanery in here, potentially being the last one to stand up against Shotzi. Wouldn't be surprised though if it comes down to a potential WWE moment again between Sasha and Bianca Belair again.
Yep.
It would be one of those things that they could easily push forward once again. So wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't be the first time that they would do it. And it wouldn't be the last time that they would do it. So I still think though that for the women's team, I think Raw wins it on this one though.
Okay. Could be something different, but I think we'll dive into it a little bit more once we get closer to Survivor Series. But we'll transform. We'll real quick before we dive into our last topic of the night. Have you guys seen what Keith Lee posted today on his birthday?
I was gonna read it. I was literally gonna read it.
Go for it.
Good.
Pretty good.
Now I gotta find it again.
I retweeted it. Hold on.
So all I'm going to say is there were 2 hashtags, and then I'll let Diego read his full statement. Hashtag bask in my glory and hashtag I am limitless.
Yep.
So if he's bringing this to wherever he goes, he already is going to be one of the most over superstars wherever he goes.
Yep. All right. So obviously, as previously mentioned, it is his birthday today. From his Twitter page at Real Keith Lee. Thank you all for the positivity that has been dropped on me the past few days, as well as the birthday wishes. I love you. Worry not. We're not done. We work. And in his public statement, it reads the following: greetings and salutations. This day is my birthday. It is not a happy birthday, but it is one that I am most grateful for. Several months ago, it was not a guarantee I would make it to this day, so there's possibility in that. I paid all my medical bills from the many offices and machines I've frequented. There is positivity in that. And I do find it amusing that people believe that anyone but me paid for my medical expenses. I was going to wait a couple of weeks, but I think it's time to look towards the future. Forward march, as I like to say. I am capable of so much more, and I can't wait to see what it looks like properly. I have a wide array of interests and abilities. I also consider myself to be rather open-minded. Here's to a future that, for all intents and purposes, seems limitless.
Yep.
So
they fucked up. They should not have let that man go.
With the two with the 2 hashtags in there, tell me
my glory.
Yeah, tell me WWE messed up without telling me the WWE messed up big time.
Yeah. All speculation that that he was covered under anything WWE like medical wise is just ridiculous. Like, yep. I'm sure he has insurance, but WWE has never once offered its talent insurances. You have to get it on your own.
Yeah,
just like your flights. It's the independent contractor bullshit.
Yep.
So he had to obviously pay out of pocket for all that stuff, and you can imagine how expensive it was if the dude was that close to almost freaking dying. So, cheers and salutations to him for being back and good to go. And also, the rumor that he had a bad attitude backstage that's been circling the last day or so seems laughable, just based on how the man's been in every other thing he's done in his entire life. So I would just say that maybe they were trying to give him this fucking Bearcat persona, and he was like, "Well, I think that's dumb," and they're like, "Well, he's difficult to work with. We should fire him." It's like he probably questioned creative, and that's literally what it seems like now with the difficult to work with seems to translate to didn't like what Vince McMahon and his fucking yes men were spewing out of their ass for ideas.
Well,
like
I don't know if you
Wyatt or an Adam Cole.
I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you saw it on social media, but he was questioned via an Instagram post about him coming up with a Bearcat personality. He was like, "Nope, that was not me. I can tell you that."
That was not me. LOL.
Yep.
So I can't wait to see him show up. I said it in a group chat earlier today. I think as we go into this next topic with Full Gear, I think you're going to get a new champion in AEW, and then he's going to lose to a heel who is then going to lose to Keith Lee sometime in the next year, I believe, because I don't know how you're AEW and you don't bring in that man, because WWE's going to fucking rue the day that they decided to fire him and his fiance 2 days before his birthday.
I agree.
What dickheads.
Listen, I'm still waiting for William Rotunda. I'm still waiting for Adam Skerr. I'm still waiting for a lot of things to make sense to me. But we'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we get into Full Gear? We'll give our predictions for it. Full Gear is this coming Saturday. So the first match we'll talk about, the 6-man tag Falls Count Anywhere match between Christian Cage and Jungle Express versus the Super Clique of Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. What do we think?
Would you like me to go?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Elite Super Clique because I believe we already had this match recently without the stipulation, and Christian Cage and them won. So now if you're going to maybe make a third go-round for this little feud, then you got to have them even up the wins. So I'll go with the Super Clique, maybe some interference, maybe some shenanigans. That stipulation leaves so much open for craziness. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about it, but Super Clique for sure.
Diego?
I kind of want to go with Christian Cage here, though. I like what the possibilities of him and Jurassic Express align for this match. So I'm going on the opposite route here. Going with Christian Cage and Jurassic.
Cool.
I'm going with the Super Click just because it's a false count anywhere, and I think there'll be some chicanery between Luchasaurus and one of the Jacksons somewhere far, and the Super Click will pick up the win off that. Next one, we have the AEW World Tag Team titles on the line. The Lucha Brothers going up against FTR.
Lucha Bros. It's too early for them to lose the titles. As good as FTR has been doing, got to be Lucha Bros, who I kind of feel like I miss from television because I feel like I haven't seen them much. So hopefully it's not one of those things where they have a reason to have to drop the titles. But that match will be great. It's that contrasting styles of the luchadors and the no fist, just, no flips, just fists that FTR always likes to go by. So it's that contrasting styles, and got to be Lucha Bros. After what we saw live is still just wow. At All Out, Jones, All In was All Out? Yeah, All Out. It's been so long. Holy shit.
All in that I'm all out. Let's go. That's the one.
Go ahead. Next person.
I already wrote Diego's down. So, I mean, this was kind of self-explanatory. Just look at him. Lucha.
Right. Did you guys see that Kalisto debuted on Dynamite, and his partner was seemingly just the most lost professional wrestler I've ever seen in my entire life on television?
Yep.
Hornswoggle?
It was another luchador, and he just seemingly his timing was just really, really bad. It's just super slow getting to certain spots and like miscommunications and all that stuff. So hopefully he gets a chance to not have that be his only exposure on American television.
But for me, I'm agreeing. It's gonna be the Lucha Bros here. Too early, like Hunman said. There's no reason that they don't retain here against FTR.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next one. The 10-man tag Minneapolis street fight between the Inner Circle, Jericho, Hager, Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz versus Men of the Year, and Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, and American Top Team, Junior Dos Santos, Andre Arlovsky, and Dan Lambert.
I'm saying Inner Circle just because of how much America's Top Team's kind of come in and just bashed the industry. So I don't want to say that UFC's kind of given some of their champions, they're getting extra coverage and everything like that. But, Inner Circles should probably win. And it'd be nice to have this feud end so Guevara can go be the TNT champion, because I know it's early. It's been a little lackluster because he hasn't quite done much outside of versus Ethan Page. So I'm going to go with the Inner Circle this time around. Hopefully it's the end of that feud.
So to go on that, did you see the interview that Colby Covington had after his loss to Kamaru Usman about
I don't think so.
So there was some of the guys they were talking about basically, some of the guys like Junior Dos Santos and everything like that going to AEW. And Colby Covington basically that he would never go to AEW. You might see me at WWE, but I would never step foot at AEW.
I think I did see that.
So is Colby Covington on his way to WWE? Who knows? But
maybe.
If that's the case, you have probably one of the best in the game when it comes to promos, because Colby Covington was on the verge of losing his job at UFC and then went to a guy's hometown, beat him, and basically talked so much shit that Dana White looked at him and goes, I need you back forever. So we'll see what happens.
McGregor style.
Yeah, but I agree. I think the Inner Circle wins here. I think Guevara gets the pin here and then prolongs his reign for the TNT title run that he most certainly deserves.
Mm-hmm.
Diego?
I think I'm going with the Inner Circle as well.
I was about to say, Diego, do I need a shock energy over there? You look a little lost on focus.
No, I was just thinking. That's all.
All right, next one. Probably two of the best homegrown talents that AEW has at the moment. Darby Allen versus MJF. What are you thinking? Star Diego.
I'm going MJF.
Maxwell, Jacob, Friedman. Okay. Any specific reasoning behind it?
Well, besides tweeting to one of our favorite Twitter personalities in Gab Gowdy, shout out to her. No, I'm just kidding. I personally, I just think he's just more. He's got the edge over Darby Allen. To be honest with you,
that was an absolute fantastic tweet because remember Hunman when he was in Cincinnati and he called the Bengals mid.
Yep, and that started to go viral.
The Bengals lost to the Cleveland Browns, and the girl who's a Browns fan tweeted out and he goes, "The Cincinnati Bengals mid." And then literally he responds with like the eye emojis underneath, and it's like, "Ooh, oh." But no, I agree. I think MJF wins, and it's another tough loss for Darby to swallow here. And I think he's going to go on a little bit of a cold streak, but I think they're going to set up for Double or Nothing, which is like their big pay-per-view. I think they're going to set up him turning on Sting and having him versus Sting in that pay-per-view as well.
Yep.
So I'm going to go MJF here.
Yeah, I'm going with you guys in the trend of the biddies agreeing. MJF seems like he needs the victory at this point, more so, and then could lead into challenging for a world championship at some point, depending on who walks out of the pay-per-view with the title.
Well, speaking of world championship eliminator tournament final, Bryan Danielson versus Miro. Miro replaced John Moxley, who was removed for the tournament after he entered a rehabilitation program for alcohol addiction. So we wish John Moxley nothing but the best on his recovery back. So Miro is getting the spot against Bryan Danielson. What are we thinking for this matchup?
Now that the tournament kind of got, weirdly changed with Moxley, checking into rehab and everything, shout out to him for getting things going for him and hopefully, healing on the side and getting everything back to normal. It's, I don't know. And I think it's going to be Miro because I still think you're getting a new world champion. So it could be some shenanigans. It could be a stoppage because, maybe Bryan won't want to tap out, or it could be a draw. They could go the draw route that they go for another 2025. But I'm sticking with Miro because they need to do a couple things to reestablish him as a monster now that he's lost the title. And I think he's one of the few realistic people that you could be like, okay, yeah, he could beat Danielson for the first time in AEW. So I'm going to stick with him.
There you go.
Such a great question, though.
It is. It really is. I think this is going to be one of the sneaky good matches on the card, besides obviously the next one, which I think is going to steal the show.
We can say that they definitely hit it out of the park with the replacement, though, right?
Like, yeah, that was for sure.
Perfect. Yeah. Like you could have threw Punk in it for no reason and just given us the dream match, but you gave us, what Miro needed.
Anybody else a little kind of no, I'll save it for when we talk about him. Okay, Diego, sorry.
I think I'm gonna go the opposite route here of the spotlight. I think I'm gonna go with Miro, just to see kind of a change in story.
Mm-hmm. It's so tough to vote against Danielson, but I'm with you because I think it's got to be Miro.
So my only thing with AEW is known for not having like the draws or like the DQs or anything like that. It's always like one follow finish there. But there is a way that I could see how they play this out in the time limit aspect. Basically, with the time are running out, and they have to figure out what to do, yada yada yada. But I think at the end of the day, I think Miro is the one to beat Bryan Danielson here. I'll take Miro as well.
For Miro.
I thought I was going to be the only one taking Miro, but apparently not. So speaking of the dream match between Danielson and Punk, let's talk CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. Anybody else kind of been so obviously the pop in Chicago when you brought Punk back, great. Punk in his first match in Chicago, fantastic. But at the same time, has anybody else been like a little lackluster on what AEW's kind of done with Punk since?
No surprises there. It's no surprise there, to be honest, because the hype was so surreal that at the same time they ran out of ideas of what to have to do with him. It was like they planned for the moment, but they didn't plan for moving forward. And it's just so clear at this point. So I think at this point, they're just trying to let it ride until the end of the year. And they have some sort of ideas to move forward onto 2022 with.
So Jones, what was the question again? I spaced out because I was trying to find something.
So do you think since he debuted after Chicago, his run in AEW has been a little lackluster?
Yeah, I think so. I think we even talked about this a week or two ago. It's what you've done is good. You brought Punk back to wrestling. He's rubbed knees with whoever it will be and given them. Again, it's just a rub. They're doing a good job. Kingston's the first one that I'm really liking, and I don't think he's going to win by any means. I think Punk's going to get the W. But it's interesting to see the parallels of the promo of like Kingston saying that Punk was one of the ones that held him down, compared to like you look back to when Cena and Punk were doing their promos almost a decade ago, more than a decade ago, and Punk was saying guys like Cena are the reason that guys like him can't succeed, and now it's like the shoe's on the other foot. And it's seemingly could be leading to a Punk toward the heel turn is what I was feeling. And I think once he does that, or even becomes a little bit more edgy and instead of just the smiling and happy to be back stage dive guy, you'll get a lot more edge back and you're going to get a lot more just better product out of CM Punk. So I'm with you. It's been a bit lackluster, but I think you're getting the build that they're going to aim for. And it's going to be a pretty good heel turn. I don't know who it's going to be on, but I think it's coming in hot.
So you think Punk's going to win?
Yes.
Diego, do you think Punk? Do you think Punk is going to win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Punk wins it.
What were you saying, Harmon?
Did you see their segment on Rampage?
I did.
Kingston's pretty good with a microphone.
I think he's going to be even better in the ring. I like Kingston to upset Punk.
Really?
I like Kingston upset Punk here. I think Kingston's probably one of the more over guys that you have that you've kind of built off. He's not obviously he was known before, but he's gotten more of the spotlight since joining AEW, and I think this is a big moment for him here. I don't think he beats Punk clean, but I think he gets the job done, and I think he beats CM Punk.
Cool. And that'd be Punk's first loss. You think it'll be Kingston? Okay.
Next one.
Bold take.
Baker and Ty Conti for the AEW Women's title.
Baker. Conti's done really well. She was another one of those ones that got let go from WWE a few years ago, seemingly because they just didn't quite know what to do with the character.
Wasn't a few years ago. It was during the pandemic, actually.
Yeah.
Was it? Was that recent?
Yeah.
It was 2020. She was one of the ones that got cut during the pandemic, and then she signed with AEW and showed up at the pay-per-view in August.
Okay.
As part of the women's tag.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about.
August of 2020. Okay. Yeah. So a year ago, but not like
I shouldn't say years ago. That's my mistake. But another one of the ones that WWE kind of gave up on. She's improved drastically. Obviously has a great look, good performer. Got some great pump kicks because she keeps doing bicycle kicks to people that are awesome. It's gonna be cool to see her get to show what she can do, but it's Britt Baker's division until you see like an Ember Moon or something, or like a Mia Yim maybe even debut. That's what I'm going with.
I think Baker wins, but I don't think it's convincingly. I think Conti's going to put on a show. I think Rebel and Hater are going to get involved. Hannah Jay's going to get involved to help out, and someone's going to get distracted, and then Britt Baker is going to apply a lockjaw. But I think Conti puts up a fight, and I think Baker comes out on top here.
Oh yeah, don't let my take be that I think she's going to get beaten the shit out of, but it's going to be a competitive match, I believe.
See, I think the Britt Baker run comes to an end here, though.
Oh, really?
I'm going with Tay Conti. I think her physicality and her performance inside the ring, it's going to get her over Britt Baker, who's going to eventually get exhausted to a certain extent. That exhaustion will come into play.
That seems to be the common trend with a lot of the AEW champions. They're all very dominant. They get a bunch of wins, and then after a while, it starts to be like, wow, they've really worked this hectic schedule fighting champions, yada, yada, yada. And then someone beats them. So you could be right. I like it. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. All right. Last one, main event. Kenny Omega versus Adam Page for the AEW World Title. Something Hunterman and I have been talking about. Diego as well.
Yep.
This is the match we wanted to see in Chicago, and unfortunately, we didn't because Page got the birth of his first child with his wife. And now he's back. What are we thinking?
I'm going with Hangman. I think he gets it done.
Well, I mean, the Hunterman and I also agree. So,
yeah, no, I'm so ready for this fucking moment, dude. I thought we were gonna get it all out, but I am so excited to see that this seemingly is going to come to fruition finally for Hangman. One of the best long-term stories they've told. It's been 2 years in the making, climbing his way back to the top, hitting his all-time low, finding his new friends, finding his confidence. Like it's literally a fucking movie, and it's or a play, whatever you want to call it. He deserves it. He's gonna get it, I think. And if they did a swerve, I think that'd be it's one of those ones. It's so predictable. Like Hangman's a -500 favorite on some sports books that I saw earlier. So it's like everyone's expecting him to win, but it's one of those things where you don't want to be WWE and say, well, if everyone expects it, we should change it. No, this is what everybody wants to see. This is what everybody needs to see. This is what everybody can't wait to fucking erupt about. You know, it's got to be Hangman. And if they don't, I don't know what's going to happen. I might call out of work.
So, Hunter, you were talking about Page winning the title and then potentially losing in his hometown of Norfolk, Virginia.
Was I?
Was that you, or was that something I read earlier?
It might have been something you read earlier. Well, how soon is that show for Norfolk?
Literally the following Wednesday.
Oh no, yeah, no, that definitely wasn't me. I think you're gonna get a run for Hangman, and then you're gonna have him drop the title to MJF, who then later, I hope, there's plenty of deserving people, but I would hope leads to Keith Lee winning the championship and then him becoming their first, African-American champion and things like that.
Yeah, let me hold on.
I want to hear that.
God, if they did that, that'd be heartbreaking.
November 17th, Norfolk, Virginia.
Not to even mention he's about to win it and then have his first appearance in his hometown. Like, it's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, but it'd be real WWE like if he lost it.
Let's not even put that into existence, please.
Here's a potential spot. This will be the last thing that I bring up before we end for tonight. They are in Long Island, New York on Wednesday, December 8th, and that is MJF territory. So maybe the run won't go as long as we would like, but it's the moment. It's all about the moment that we need.
Yeah, we need the moment. We need the pop. It'd be a very crowning achievement in AEW to finally have this happen. And he just the ovations he gets is just ridiculous. You got to strike while the iron's hot. Like, he's more over than like Danielson and Punk. I think,
easily. Just
based on what he's getting for ovations. So
I think if we're talking ovations right now, the top 5 in the company in no particular order, it's Hangman, Kingston, Cole, Danielson, and then I would even say Orange Cassidy. And Darby too, yeah. So those would be the 5 that I would say. But we can sit here and talk about that the rest of the night. Episode 32 officially in the books. Shout out to the 2 gentlemen with me. 32 episodes on a wrestling podcast. Didn't think that Hunter and I would last together on anything longer than 10 episodes. Diego and I have done, I think now we're combined.
Plug yellow card.
It's a plan, including the soccer podcast now, almost 100 episodes. Like, thinking about this at this time last year, not a chance would I have even considered doing anything like that with either of you. Nope. So I'm very, very
don't act like the victim, because we wouldn't have considered doing 100 episodes with you too.
No. Well, if you let me
I hate you, dude. I'm just doing this for the potential fame,
If you would let me do this, I was gonna say I'm thankful for the both of you for coming to me with this idea and having the opportunity to put this out on the platform together, the 3 of us. So with that being said, from Splooshin released, !, WWE, Roster Cut McGee, and the Keith Lee stand, Suplex Biddies signing off. Thank you, Couch Guy Sports. Thank you, Shocked Energy. Remember, using the internet one time, go check out everything at couchguysports.com. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 30. 3.